Wine number 2 that we've asked Chef Nicolas Boutin to pair is the 2007 Domaine du Jacques Clos de la Roche Grand Cru. Domaine du Jacques is really a fairly young winery that was established by Jacques Seyss in 1968. And now his two sons, Jeremy and Alec, have taken over and created a domain that really is on sustainable principles, organic, and experimenting with biodynamics. It's a winery that really focuses on purity of fruit, of expression that's more about the linear longevity and the aging potential of the wine. Clos de la Roche as a Grand Cru is among the most sought after wines from Domaine du Jacques. And we've chosen the 2007, a 10-year-old Grand Cru that is a lot more open than other vintages because of its accessibility and style. Let's see what Chef Boutin has to pair with the du Jacques Clos de la Roche.
Écoute, avec ce temps passé en cuisine avec toi, d'avoir vu ce plat de maquereau que tu as fait avec le cresson, je trouve ça génial déjà en premier, une fois plus, les produits sains, etc. Donc toi un petit peu quand tu fais ta cuisine, comment tu t'inspires un petit peu de…
Comment je m'inspire? Très simplement, je fais comme la ménagère de tous les jours en fait. C'est-à-dire je me lève le matin, je vais à Rungis et je vais chercher les produits. Je vais chercher les produits et donc j'ai une carte très courte, volontairement courte, de façon à renouveler régulièrement et d'être au plus près de la saisonnabilité. J'ai envie de dire presque, je fais même plus une cuisine de saison, c'est une cuisine du moment. Donc je me crée pas d'obligation en fait.
Non, c'est très bien.
Finalement, c'est les producteurs, c'est mes partenaires, j'aime bien les appeler des partenaires en fait, qui me dirigent finalement sur…
presque des amis, des gens de confiance.
Exactement, exactement.
Comme ça,
Mais alors comme ça, et puis la proximité, ce qu'on vient de faire aujourd'hui. C'est-à-dire l'échange de la cuisine. Aujourd'hui, la cuisine, moi je la vois comme ça. C'est-à-dire, on n'est pas des concurrents en train de regarder ce que fait l'autre et de se dire « Ah ouais, je vais prendre ça ». Non, on est là en train de partager un moment. Et c'est ça la cuisine. C'est un moment de partage autour d'une table, autour de plein de choses. On peut être debout, tu vois, tous les deux, on était dans la cuisine, on a passé un bon moment. Parce que c'est un moment de partage. C'est un vrai plaisir.
This wonderful restaurant L'Entre Amis. Yes, and I know that the restaurant is very special because their menu is different every day. Is that right?
Yes, that's what I like on this kind of restaurant. Really focus on few ingredients, really seasonal and changing, and they have a very short menu as well. When you can understand how they manage that in the kitchen when you have so many dishes. So less they have, more they are controlling what they're doing. So usually you can feel all the freshness, simplicity on the dish, and that's the most important.
Shall we try?
Should try it. Bon appetit. Let's try it.
So it's the avocado and there's the...
You have some avocado, you have some broccoli, you have some watercress. Actually, we're going to visit the farm tomorrow.
And what kind of fish is this?
It's mackerel.
Oh, mackerel.
So we have been just marinated and torched.
Oh, okay.
And
so it's pretty rare then.
Yes,
right?
with vinaigrette we make with the avocado honey. What I like in the dish is very fresh. And
it's so good.
And you have different textures as well. That the texture is very important. And you have some ingredients make it very fresh, and you have some crunchiness as well. What is nice, you feel like you have a lot of ingredients, but as well you can define what you have in the plate. Everything can be matched together as well. That's the very important stuff.
The fish, it's like soft and it's very fresh, and then there's the crunchy part, and then there's the puree that makes it like, you know, the texture. It's just an explosion in the mouth.
Exactly, that's exactly that.
It seems so delicate and fine, right?
It's all about French cuisine and the fresh ingredient, basically. That's why we are, very strong with these kind of ingredients, because we don't try to make quantity, especially for the one you order there and then we order in Hong Kong. It's definitely focused on small producer.
It does really feel like you just picked it off the garden and eating it because it's so crunchy.
Alors, and on top of that, the watercress you have today is we'll go visit the farm tomorrow. And then you will see that they are doing this ingredient. Will be very nice to learn how he's doing that, and I'm sure he do that really the way it should be, so no pesticide, very natural. And light as well, because cresson can be very bitter, powerful. So if you realize this one is tasty but light as well, very mild.
So you're gonna pick some vegetables and cook for me tomorrow?
Yes, I will. I will.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Santé.
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 J'ai une question. Toi, t'en manges du cresson?
Oui, régulièrement.
Alors, la deuxième question, c'est de savoir comment. Comment on le mange.
Moi, j'ai la chance d'avoir une femme qui cuisine et qui a fait l'acquisition d'un Thermomix en plus.
Ah oui.
Donc elle fait plein de choses, elle fait beaucoup de soupe, on le mange en salade régulièrement.
Soupe, salade,
un truc qui est super, c'est cresson crème fraîche, juste mixé, sel, poivre,
mais cru
en verrine,
Cru. Donc juste coupé avec de la crème. Non,
sel, poivre, en verrine ou sur des toasts, c'est top.
Ah ouais. Et en conservant évidemment que la feuille.
Ah bah tu peux tout faire, non?
D'accord. Même ici, on peut.
Quand il est gros en feuille comme ça, là tu fais revenir des lardons dans une poêle. Tu coupes là au niveau du lien et tu mets les feuilles comme des épinards, tu les fais revenir. Et ben, moi les garçons, pourtant c'est assez fort, j'ai 2 garçons qui ont 9 et 12 et ils aiment bien comme ça aussi.
The taste of watercress can be very bitter, and as he explained, actually really depends on the season. And of course, it's the size of the leaves where will change the flavors as well. So bigger it is and more slightly bitter, strong the taste will be. But that's something you cannot control. The most important anyway is the freshness, and that cannot be better than today.
Paris is all about food and wine, and of course they're very famous for their desserts. So today, while Chef Nicolas is out in the farm shopping, I can spare a little bit of time and have dessert high tea. And in Paris it's different because in Hong Kong when we have high tea, usually we pair it with a coffee or a tea, but here they always celebrate with a nice glass of bubblies. Every piece of dessert has a Parisian touch to it, and they change the desserts every season. So it also depends on what is popular or the, you know, if it's like winter time or summertime or what produce is popular. And right in front of me, I have a coconut cheesecake. I'm a really big fan of cheesecakes, because I've been making cheesecakes since I was 8 years old, and I used to make one every week because I absolutely love cheesecakes, but I've never tried or seen a cheesecake that is like a ball. And then there's this one that I think is very pretty. This is the chocolate cookie crumbs with the pear jelly, and you can see that they put a lot of artwork, and it's very detailed in creating this dessert. Even the gold pieces on top, it's made to be like a leaf, kind of like autumn. This one is a lot lighter than the previous chocolate. The mousse is very light, but then there's a lot of cookie crumbs at the bottom, so it's got the texture of the cookies and it's very crunchy. And it's got a little bit of pear inside, so it's another texture. So there's like a lot of different textures inside. There's the mousse, there's the cookies, and the pear. This Parisian-style afternoon tea is a wonderful break from this mission. Nothing is better than having traditional French pastries, lemon shoal, and listening to the soothing notes of a jazz trio with a glass of champagne. Look at this former grand dining room. It was restored to reflect the glory of the Belle Epoque era. I love how this romantic city indulges me with wine and culture. I'm going to bring a bottle of champagne to Chef Nicolas to toast the success of our mission.
So let's have a drink now,
Yeah,
and then
santé.
we'll have more tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
Santé.
definitely we keep some.
So we have today Eric Degout to help us sort through this food and wine pairing that Chef Nicolas Boutin has prepared today. Welcome, Eric.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored to be amongst you ladies.
So we have in front of us the 2007 Domaine du Jacques Clos de la Roche Grand Cru. And I know that most of us will not approach a Grand Cru at such a young age. It was a very open vintage, 2007. Would you agree, Eric?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's one of the vintages in the last 10 years that you could approach, even as a Grand Cru Red Burgundy, quite young. And du Jacques being a favorite among many Burgundy wine lovers.
Absolutely.
So Eric and Selena, tell us what you think about this wine. Oh, the nose, the aroma, the color is beautiful too. It's really spicy, isn't it? Lovely herbs, cloves and nutmeg and lots
It's quite
of...
expressive for...
But powerful.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
You feel the structure of the wine.
Yeah, it's a very, much more masculine wine than the previous one. But it still has that minerality, which I like a lot from La Roche anyway.
Oh, looks like salmon, chef.
Salmon, yes.
And we have a Grand Cru Red Burgundy.
Yes, so I think the idea again, I think the idea of the salmon, the watercress, because again we we went to the countryside in Paris to visit the one doing watercress there. And
What's this part?
And then had again, we still have the wild mushroom right now. So had a bit of sauté black trumpet. Then you have a bit of faisselle cheese. And then the yellow one is a kind of hollandaise with a bit of mustard. And the mustard is from where?
Dijon. Selena knows everything now.
So that's what about. Bon, bon appétit. Merci.
Thank you. Merci. So Eric, any thoughts on this pairing?
The du Jacques is so powerful, and the salmon is such a delicate and slightly, I wouldn't say bland, but it's when you eat it raw. I mean, the mushroom really has up, but I would have actually preferred a more meaty sauce to cope with the power. Because the dish in itself is wonderful, but I think with the wine really leads way too far. It needs more of a meaty, maybe like a chicken jus or something.
Right.
More on a meat sauce.
Yes.
For me, I'm a little bit biased because it just brings me back memories. And of course, yes, this wine is more powerful for this dish. But because there's a personal sense, feeling for me, and that memory is great, yeah.
You know, I think that's so important with wine. It's, you know, who you have it with, where, when, and how, and all of those details. So, no, you're absolutely right. We're all biased to a certain degree. But today we're going to be objective.
Yes, you too can be very objective, of course. Right?
So we're going to be objective, and I think that I love the idea that salmon can pair with red wine, and I think it absolutely can. But this one is raw, and it's salted. So it has already a kind of fishiness, which is very difficult for any red wine or even some white wine. So I still think that the mushrooms added a little bit of depth, a little bit. but there could have been other ways to make the dish richer, and also, potentially just more layered so that it reflects the Clos de la Roche, which is,
This is,
an amazing wine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that the wine doesn't get lost either in the pairing. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Something? Traveling.